Henry Winkler once hid a script because he was so overwhelmed he told himself he couldn't do it. That moment of panic, and what happened right after, reveals everything about the man behind one of television's most iconic characters, and the friendship that quietly shaped both their lives. Most people know the surface story. Henry Winkler played Fonzie on Happy Days. Ron Howard was the original lead. The show became a massive hit. They stayed friends. Simple, right? But the real story is far more complicated, and far more human. Winkler grew up in a German immigrant household in Manhattan, where academic achievement was everything. The problem was, he struggled to read. Long before anyone gave it a name, dyslexia was quietly making his childhood feel like a series of failures. His parents mistook his difficulty for laziness. That criticism carved a deep fear into him, a belief that approval was always one mistake away from disappearing. Even after earning a master's degree from Yale's drama school, scripts remained a source of anxiety. So he learned to listen intensely, improvise when needed, and connect with whoever was in front of him. Those skills would eventually build Fonzie. But in 1973, they were just survival tools for an unknown actor who'd just arrived in Los Angeles. He auditioned for a minor role on a nostalgic TV comedy, a character with just a handful of lines. He showed up in costume, adjusted his voice, changed his entire posture, and got the part. That show was Happy Days. And already standing at its center was Ron Howard, a young man who'd spent practically his entire life in front of a camera. What began as an exchange, Ron teaching Henry the mechanics of television, Henry bringing a looser, stage-trained instinct to the set, grew into something deeper. They became acting partners who didn't need to explain themselves to each other. Then the audiences arrived. And everything shifted. Fonzie's entrances started getting louder than anything else in the room. Fan mail poured in for Henry. Kids everywhere were throwing up two thumbs. Executives began floating the idea of renaming the show entirely. Fonzie's Happy Days. Ron Howard, the man the series had been built around, was now being quietly pushed to the margins of his own show. He was prepared to walk away rather than accept that. Here's what makes this story remarkable. Henry refused to support the title change. He could have taken the win. Instead, he said no, believing it would disrespect the ensemble around him. He couldn't control the audience's reaction, but he could control that. Their friendship was tested in ways neither man advertised for decades. Ron eventually left the show to pursue directing, calling Henry personally before the news broke. Henry's first thought, by his own account, was that his career was finished. His acting partner, the one person who instinctively knew his every move, was gone. But he told Ron to go anyway. He encouraged him to chase the career he'd always wanted. Years later, Ron revealed that encouragement was exactly what he needed to hear. Henry didn't know that until nearly 50 years had passed. Their story isn't about a rivalry that got repaired. It's about two people who let success, loss, and time do their worst, and chose, quietly and repeatedly, not to use any of it against each other. That kind of loyalty is rare anywhere. In Hollywood, it's almost unheard of. If this story stayed with you, leave a like and subscribe. There's plenty more where that came from.